Hello, my name is Shelby, and today I'll be sharing my findings on the impact that the introduction of European carp into the Murray-Darling Basin has had on Murray cod. Murray cod holds significant cultural meaning to the people of Ngarrindjeri country. Stories tell that a giant ancestral Murray cod, Pondy, was chased by a great hunter. The gyrations and thrashes that Ponty performed while trying to escape formed the bends and billabongs of the Murray River. This story has been passed down through generations, cementing the cultural meaning of the Murray cod in Indigenous communities. They are an apex predator in the Murray-Darling Basin. This crucial role ensures balance within the ecosystem of the basin. Murray cod also has a strong economic value. The presence of Murray cod encourages tourism from fishermen to the regions surrounding the Murray-Darling Basin. They are seen as an iconic fish to catch. If their numbers lessen towards extinction, then tourism in these regional communities may suffer as a consequence. European carp were accidentally introduced into the Murray-Darling Basin through a flooding event in 1964. Following this introduction, their numbers have dramatically increased, and they are now thought to make up to 90% of fish biomass in some areas of the basin. They have a negative effect on the ecosystem of the Murray-Darling Basin. They feed on organisms such as zooplankton that would normally contribute to control of algae blooms. They also disrupt the ecosystem with their feeding technique. When feeding, they suck sediment into their mouth along with food. The food is then filtered using their gills, and the sediment is expelled back into the water. This technique reduces the amount of light that is able to penetrate to the riverbed. Less light penetration means that submerged aquatic plants are not as viable and will not be able to assist in the maintenance of the ecosystem. There are many fish native to the Murray-Darling Basin. Due to the changes in the ecosystem caused by European carp, these fish are now suffering. If further action is not taken, native fish may move towards extinction. This will happen as European carp continue to compete with Murray cod for food resources as well as habitat. European carp will also continue reducing food availability for native species through their feeding nature and disruption of the ecosystem. There is not a simple fix to restore balance in the ecosystem of the Murray-Darling Basin. However, there are small steps that can be built upon. Habitat restoration could be considered to encourage Murray cod breeding. This would consist of returning fallen logs to the riverbed near the bank of the river, as this is Murray cod's preferred breeding habitat. Restoration of vegetation would focus on organisms that improve water quality and their return to healthy functioning within the river. Fencing off riverbanks should also be considered, as this would help prevent livestock from accessing the riverbank and in turn give native vegetation a chance to re-establish. Effective European carp management should also be considered in order to restore balance. There is the possibility that cyprinid herpes virus 3 may be implemented in the coming years to control carp populations. However, there are other measures to be considered, such as flow management, to manipulate the flow of the river and disrupt European carp breeding. This would also involve adjustments to water flow from surrounding water catchments to create unfavourable conditions for European carp to reproduce. Thank you for listening to my presentation.